Hey guys, we're back with more of this.
Yes, we are. And this time's going to be better. It's going to be less depressing. We're going to be stronger. We got this.
I'm a little disheartened that nobody had any input
Yeah.
last week. Normally you guys, clue in on stuff I'm doing wrong and you provide helpful tips, and this time there was radio silence, so either you guys had better shit to do, which, I mean, let's face it, like, that there's no such thing. Okay, I shouldn't use her because
Or they just...
Or I'm the more frightening option is that I'm just doing the best possible.
I mean, I
there's nowhere to go from here.
My theory is that you're getting close to the end, and they don't want it to be over, so they're just letting you now take as long as possible. It's like when you don't beat Ganon in Breath of the Wild, because that's when the game will be over.
I still haven't beaten Ganon.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be sad when we finish this game and, all of our viewers probably disappear.
Yeah, well. So,
but they'll come back for Lobotomy Corp 2, presumably.
So I said Breath of the Wild, and it reminded me that I was talking about Fallout 76 this week.
Uh-huh.
Because in light of all the negative perceptions of it, and how we did the video trying to highlight, like, the positives of it. And I made a comparison between Fallout 76 and Breath of the Wild. And I said that 76 felt like Breath of the Wild, but without the divine beasts or Ganon to beat. It's like how sometimes when you just have the open world and you just run around and are like, I'm gonna go to this mountain and see what's there, and you see what's there, and you cook some food and you whatever.
Like if Minecraft had like a static world.
Yeah.
To play around in.
And I actually talked to a couple of people about this, and they said, I said, okay, so picture Breath of the Wild, because with 76 there's I don't know, I guess a lot of the hate is coming from the fact that people wanted just Fallout 4 again, or New Vegas again.
We've kind of hit the it's kind of like the Final Fantasy thing, where the most recent Final Fantasy game is always like the worst game ever.
Yeah.
From the people who didn't like it, until the next game comes out and they're like, oh well, actually, okay, that last one wasn't so bad. Like, this is the new terrible thing, even though we all know that objectively speaking, nothing will ever be worse than 13.
But so I asked some people, I said, this is what it feels like when I played it, and I still have fun with Breath of the Wild, even though I already beat Ganon and whatever, just exploring the world and cooking my recipes off of stable walls and stuff.
I learned how to make Deathclaw Wellington.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing, yes.
Nice.
I don't know who this amazing big bald like gourmet was who's learning how to make needlessly high class food off of literal monsters in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. But, God bless him.
Yeah. But I asked some people, okay, so Breath of the Wild, would you play Breath of the Wild if you just put the game in and turned it on and there was no Divine Beasts and no Ganon? And sadly, the response I got from all three people I asked was, no, I wouldn't. Like, they seem to want some, I don't know, structure or direction or narrative, anything, I guess.
But there is narrative. It's just they avoid the Fallout thing of we know you have this big old world to explore, but you have to go over here all right, now you have to go do this quest,
Yeah.
and this quest, and this quest. Okay, now go have some fun in the world for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then come right back over here and eat your vegetables, young man.
Yeah.
There is a quest to get you started, where you are following you're following in the footsteps of the overseer, who left the vault before everybody else.
Oh, okay.
And she left. She traveled around the world. She traveled, well, not around the world. She traveled around, you know, the state or the area you're in.
Yeah.
Appalachia. She traveled around and, you know, had her own adventures and left like audio recordings and, you know, like,
I get you.
evidence that she had been living her life, you know, out of the wasteland.
Right.
For you. So that, number one, lets you get invested in her personal story, and number two, it also gives you some direction on like where to go. It helps you, like, you know, to find some neat stuff, without just saying, without doing kind of the New Vegas thing of,
Yeah.
you're kind of supposed to get over here, but there's death claws there, so find another way.
Right.
So, and there are some really, really nice quests in the game that nobody talks about. I was doing a really fantastic series, which was, well, I did two really fantastic ones this weekend. One was about an actress who played a companion character to the Silver Shroud from Fallout 4.
Oh, okay.
It was like a I was gonna say Batman, but that's the plebeian analogy. He's the Shadow. So yeah, there's my chops.
Okay.
But she played that character before the Great War, and then after the war she found a bunch of like orphan girls and tried to take care of them, and the only thing she had to offer them was, you know, the lessons of the character that she played. So she ended up forming sort of a weird, like, all-female, like crime-fighting group built around that persona, that superhero persona she played. And they have like a bat cave, and they have like you know, all their gadgets and shit, and you, in the quest, you get to explore, like, you know, the history of of that group, and, you know, ultimately how it failed.
Right.
And it was just a very, very interesting way to tell a story without having, you know, any alive characters.
Yeah.
And I also did a series of quests which led me to finding the last remnants of the Enclave, still alive, or still present in this particular area. And now I'm doing quests for their evil computer. So there is narrative.
Yeah.
You just need to find it.
Right. So before I get on to the other thing that I was going to talk about with Fallout, yeah, like, I totally get that, and I mean, I'm a fan of games that sort of embed the journal entries and the narrative and the gems. You know, they hide it and make you find it, but, you know,
well,
some people, they want slightly more hand-holding in the beginning, I guess.
Well, there's well, like I said, the Overseer quests do a really good job of hand-holding you, because it is effectively, they effectively give you the exact same experience that you would get from just having an NPC stand in front of you saying, okay, I need you to go and kill like 8 dudes.
Right.
Like, come back when you're finished.
Yeah, 20 bad butts.
Yeah, they've just replaced, you know, the NPC with an audio recording.
Yeah.
And you hear like, oh, like Jesus, like, these poor people are being you know, are being attacked by death claws. I really wish someone would go and kill like 8 of them.
They've got to thin out their numbers.
Yeah, and then you go and do that.
8 is the number.
You know? And there are the more traditional kind of quests, because the Enclave set I'm telling you about, you know, the quest giver is an AI, so he is present, and you go talk to him. He goes, "All right, hey, meatbag, like, I need you to go and, you know, and use this holotape to go and override this base, so I can get it. I can, you know, sneak in and get information there."
Yeah.
And you go and do the quest. And it is exactly like you do in any other Bethesda Fallout. But the people whining about this stuff either haven't played the game, or they played 5 seconds of it and went, "No, this game sucks," and found out that Bethesda doesn't do refunds.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, there are the people that immediately went,
Caveat emptor.
This isn't Fallout 4 and quit. But...
Even though nobody liked Fallout 4 and nobody likes Fallout.
Or this isn't New Vegas or whatever they were looking for. Okay, wait. Let's get everyone out. We're about to trigger the Dawn, which is the 4 little guys, right?
I don't think it's 4. I think it's 1.
Is it just the 1? It's the fixers, right? It's the white, black, pale, and red.
Yeah, I don't think they all come out when it's Dawn. I think you just get red.
Now, are these guys badass enough where we need to gather the entire facility to instantly destroy them? Because, for peace of mind, it might not be a bad idea to just get all 50 of our employees and insta-gib whatever comes out. Because there's nothing rushing us this time. We can take this as slow as we want, right?
Presumably.
So can we just gather the entire facility and instantly kill dudes?
Well, part of the problem is that I need to make sure that like 4 employees don't die. Otherwise, the Army in Black will get out.
Okay, wait. Oh yeah, clerks count too.
Yeah, clerks count. But yeah, I mean, I suppose I could just put them all like in the central department.
Because I don't know a better way. Because last time, if I'm remembering correctly, things got out of hand just because we were splitting our focus, and those fixers... I figure if we take an approach of, blitzkrieging the one thing at a time that pops up, just like whack-a-moling this, we might get a handle on it.
Maybe. But, I mean, also having a big group makes you vulnerable to all, like, the big, like, sweeping beam attacks, which is the other thing that worries me.
See, yes, that is correct, and my gamble that I'm doing here is with this many guys, that thing's just gonna insta-die, and all we have to worry about is the one beam attack that happens on its death.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's worth trying.
So if everybody dies at once, I apologize. But... look at that. That looks glorious. That looks majestic. Like... Anyway, while we beat the drums of war, let me... So I found an interesting article specifically about Fallout.
This random goober was off on their own.
Alright, where is the enemy? Where's the enemy? Did they not spawn in yet?
They might not have spawned in yet. Oh, this guy was also off doing his own thing. I don't know how that happened.
Unpause it. Give it a chance to spawn in.
But I'm scared.
Alright, pause it again. Now they certainly...
Where the fuck is the fixer? Of any color.
Yeah, Dawn is the fixer. Oh, there's one.
Okay.
Oh, you walked into the wrong room, sir. Now, let's see if my strategy has merit. If his life bar just disappears...
Oh, the frame rate is going to shit.
If the life bar just vanishes, this is what we want. Yeah. Yeah, boy!
I mean, although the thing that is worrying me a little bit is that I can't, like, tell who's being harmed.
It's alright.
Who's near death or anything.
He's dead, and now we... Oh, it's only one. You were right.
Yeah.
See, but flawless, right? He died so fast that all he could do was his first, 2 attacks. And that. But we survived. Now we heal everybody.
Alright, everybody... Well, I assume everybody's getting healing. Because eventually, at least, everyone stops healing.
Okay, so you're right. The beam attacks are a problem, but what do you think? He died really quick, so he didn't actually get to do an attack besides the big beam.
Well...
on death.
It's going to be a problem... It's going to be a problem... Shit, that's 3... Wait, is that too many? Okay, he's at 1. So, next time there are, 4 deaths, he's gonna come out.
Oh, the clerks, yeah.
Yeah. But, that Blitzkrieg thing is gonna be an issue in the future, if there are more reds, just because I stop healing at some point, and that pretty much makes all my employees take damage.
Oh, the red fixers, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because if I only have a small group of people attacking the fixer, then they're the only ones who are going to get damaged by the beam.
That's true.
Everyone, so...
So, oh yeah, that's right. The healing That's why we fucked up.
Yeah, the healing is going to go away eventually.
I forgot that was the problem. Yeah. Okay, so maybe not.
Well, it'll work until like phase 3 or so, and then it'll become problematic. This time I'm also focusing on only doing like work on things that I know aren't going to turn on me.
Right.
Like one sin. I should do punishing word.
So, okay, back to Fallout. Right. On the other hand, there are people.
OTOH, yes.
There are people that don't like the game because of technical and gameplay issues.
Give me their names.
I don't know. I don't know their names, but
I will have words with them.
So there was, let's see. I mean, there were people.
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna check and see if I could make Army, if I could get Army and Black's Quiploth count to go up. I can't remember if I can.
So there were people who,
and I also can't. Well, those are all low, high.
Oh, those are high. That's common. Oh, that's the protection.
Okay, good. I don't get locked into it. So there's like a 30% chance that whoever I have go work here will pick the low one.
Yeah,
that's a bad deal.
Right.
Although on the other hand, I might want to try and trigger him just so that like I get him out of the way quicker.
That's true.
Because otherwise he's gonna break out when I have like fixers running around, and that's gonna be bad. And also right now, like I'll actually heal up from any damage he does. So let's play with the army. But yeah, what do you?
No. So there were people. There were a lot of people that played the game at like the launch version of the game,
like me.
And it's a Bethesda game, so the launch version of any Bethesda game is buggy as hell. And
you could have simplified that even more by saying the current version of any Bethesda game is buggy as hell.
Why aren't we static? Oh, it's just the monitor. It's just the HUDs. Yeah. So I mean,
because like there are still bugs in Fallout 4 that you cannot fix without mods.
You're right.
And there are bugs from Fallout 4 that carried into 76 because it's the same engine.
So I do know this article is saying that there's a lot of people who it's not the narrative that is the reason, but it's the bugs, And I mean, it's a Bethesda game. You kind of know what you're getting in for. But Bethesda's rolling out a couple of patches to try to appease the people that are displeased with the game for technical and gameplay reasons.
But the thing is, that none of those bugs are enough. Like, I mean, I've been playing since before launch. I was playing in beta, and I excitedly kept playing throughout beta, even before I knew that there wasn't going to be a character reset, which was a nice perk. But no, there are not, while there are bugs present, there are not bugs that are severe enough that they keep the game from being enjoyable. Okay. There are a couple that that players are exploiting, which allegedly make the game worse. Like I believe I've seen conflicting accounts on this, but there is a glitch where you can get like infinite like carrying capacity, but allegedly doing that like slows down the server for everybody else. So if you have a lot of people on the same server doing that exploit, then the entire server will be slow.
So here's we've got preemptive December 4 patch notes.
Yeah.
December 4, 2018 patch notes addressing some of the things I guess specifically that people were complaining about it, these specific things enough that Bethesda released this article and patch notes ahead of time.
Right.
To say, like, please stop hating the game. Right.
Hate the player.
So here's what we have. On the 4th of December of 2018, the stash limit will be increased from 400 to 600. And they say, while this is somewhat conservative, they plan to increase the storage cap further once we verify that the change will not negatively impact the stability of the game.
Right.
So you're going to get more stash. Players.
It is currently a problem right now that the upkeep on your equipment requires like a lot of materials, and you only have so much dash to work with.
Right.
So it's difficult to balance having the insane amount of materials you need to fix your equipment, and also keep like more than like one or two like guns.
Yeah.
Like in your armory, which is, I mean, that needlessly limits like the way you play the game. You can't even store your extra guns in storage for very long, because then you don't have room for materials, which you need to make your guns work. So yeah, that's a big problem.
Next point, boss loot. Players should correctly receive 2 to 3 items after taking down a boss, depending on the creature's difficulty and level.
I'm not actually sure what that refers to, because I know that at endgame, people are fighting Scorch Beasts for loot, and I know people have been complaining that the loot that Scorch Beasts drop do not, correlate properly to how difficult the fight is. I don't know what else counts as a boss, quote unquote. I don't know if that's referring to just legendary creatures, which typically drop like special stuff.
Yeah, no. It's just what Bethesda said.
That's a thing.
Next point of interest is cryolator effects, and it says players hit with the cryolator are now chilled, frosted, or frozen, depending on how many times they are hit. The duration of movement speed reductions applied by these effects has also been decreased from 2 hours to 30 seconds.
I mean, I don't think anyone actually uses the cryolator stuff.
Apparently, it lasted 2 hours.
Might have been in-game hours.
Oh, okay.
Not real hours.
But they're reducing it to 30 seconds. Okay, I don't know. This is just what it says.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't use the cryolator.
Okay. Next point, respawning when over-encumbered. We've resolved an issue.
Yeah, that was a bug.
We've resolved an issue affecting players who die while...
What the fuck?
Hey?
The Army in Black is not supposed to trigger off employees you kill with
the execute, yeah.
Yeah, but it appears to have done just that.
Well...
So somebody lied to me.
Bethesda...
Korea.
Yeah. So... We resolved an issue affecting players who die while over-encumbered that only allowed them...
At least we're getting this out of the way.
...to respawn at Vault 76. Now over-encumbered players will be able to respawn at the nearest discovered map marker.
Yeah, normally you're supposed to be able to do exactly that, but for whatever reason there is a bug where you could only respawn back at Vault 76. But after you respawned, you could just fast travel back to whatever point you were going to go to anyway, so...
Okay.
It wasn't a huge deal, but also, I mean, like, the real answer is just get good enough that you don't die, scrub. Like,
so,
do you even lift?
Last point of interest on the December 4 patch, and then we've actually got December 11th patch. They're planning the double patches.
Well, I mean, they had the 4th patch planned out in advance. They just have a bunch of patches planned for the future.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So yeah.
So last one on the patch on the 4th is stuck in power armor. We've addressed an issue in this patch that could cause players to become stuck inside power armor.
I have never experienced that.
We're also aware that there are some additional cases where this can occur, and we are actively investigating them.
Not only have I never experienced that, I've never seen anybody complaining about that.
Well, so. It's here. I mean, you're always the blessed child with glitches anyway. Like Sonic 06 was playable for you, so... You've got the good juju.
It was so playable, it was good. No, that's a lie. But, it was. I'm trying to think of something forgiving to say about it. It was better than Superman 64.
Okay, good. So you're not doing any more work because you're gonna. Oh no, you're not triggering a dawn. It's just meltdown. It's just
right.
Meltdown.
Well, the idea was I was gonna use my execution bullets to kill off every single clerk in the entire facility.
Okay.
To keep the Army in Black from ever triggering again.
But it's fine because we're doing it.
Well, that ended up triggering them anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I just fought them, and it's okay.
But fighting him it achieves the same thing because we're gonna heal up after.
I finished killing off all the clerks anyway, or enough that they should not be able to. They need like 12 to die before they break out, I believe. Because I think it's like every 4, and they have 3 points. So either there are no clerks left to die, or there are not enough to trigger it. So that should be fine. But also because when I roll over, it's going to refill my bullets.
Okay.
So I figured now was the time.
All right. So anyway, we've got December 11th that's coming. So hopefully this will just make everybody happier because we've got all this stuff coming, right? So on December 11th, what they're doing is... and I don't know why this wasn't a thing, but they're putting in push-to-talk for voice chat.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is that their plan was to make... The way it currently works is...
Well, they wanted voice chat to be the radio, the Wasteland radio, right?
Well, no.
Okay.
They wanted it to be an immersive experience where, you could only talk to people that you were with. So
I got
they were hoping for an organic experience where you would come across someone and go, oh, ho there, fellow Wastelander, and you guys would strike a conversation, or you'd come across someone and he'd be like, hey, fucker, give me all your money.
But there's no PvP.
There is PvP.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you're wanted, or yeah.
But I mean, like you can still people have been very creative in finding ways to make your life hell, even if they're only doing slap damage to you.
Yeah.
But the thing is that is the only form of communication available in the game right now.
Yeah.
So there's no chat box. So number one, people who don't have a mic cannot communicate with anybody at all. Period.
Right.
Except the remotes. But aside from that, I don't use the voice chat at all, because when I play a game like Fallout, where I want to chill, and just do stuff for a long time, I like to have like a TV show playing or something.
Right.
And if my mic is always on, like anyone who comes near me is going to hear me, watching like She-Ra or something.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic show, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Like I've come across people who are clearly like streaming.
Yeah.
And it's fucking annoying to have to listen to them, act like a fucking loon.
Yeah.
Because they're talking to their streamers, or people who are doing Let's Plays.
Yeah.
And they're just rambling nonsensically to themselves, and everybody in the immediate area has to listen to them.
Right.
And as you are well aware, the vast majority of people, who do that kind of thing on the internet are not funny or entertaining.
That is correct.
Us included. So.
Aw. We're so funny and entertaining.
See, normally I was expecting you to follow that with, especially compared to those other guys.
The game gimps. Yeah.
Wow, Archer totally boloed.
Did he pick the wrong?
He might have.
Was he forced to choose the incorrect word?
He might have.
Okay, so anyway, push to talk is coming, so that sounds really good.
So
that just sounds good.
Yeah. So that one was well intentioned. They wanted to have a nice organic world, but the problem is there's just like logistically speaking, there's issues with that.
So next point we have a.
Oh, are we already in no heal? It looks like we're already no heal.
Oh, so it must be at certain meltdown levels.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know. I don't know why Archer wasn't getting healed by the thing.
All right,
Unless the hallway healing is disabled.
Yeah, it might disable the layers of healing one by one. So you get back to being only in break rooms, and then only bullets work or something.
Maybe. That's weird. Anyway, so that was well intentioned, but it didn't work out. So they was said, mea culpa, and they're rolling it back.
Right.
That's good.
So anyway, continuing on with the technical complaints, next point is a special respec. After level 50, you'll be able to choose between a new perk card or moving a special point you had previously allocated.
So I don't know why that wasn't in to begin with, but yeah, unlike every other Fallout game where you come up with your special build at the very beginning of the game, and then you get the odd point to allocate like throughout the game. You start with all ones, and then every level you put a point into a stat, and then you get you can pick a perk, which you then have to equip, and each perk has a cost, and the number of points you have is equal to your stat level. So if you have 10 strength, you have 10 strength perk points to work with. So this has unfortunately locked people into certain builds, So they're allowing you to move those points around.
Yeah,
Once people realize, like, I really don't need, 15 points of luck.
it sounds like it should have been there.
Should have been there, but whatever. Like,
Okay.
It's not. There's no long-term harm.
So then we have camp placement on login. Or I'm sorry, CAMP placement on login.
That's a dumb one. So the camp system is pretty great. That is the Fallout 76 version of the settlement system from Fallout 4. Basically, you have a little campy box you put down, and that gives you a build area,
right.
And you can build stuff in your area, like your sleeping bag and your workbench and whatnot. And when you feel like getting a bit more creative, you can build like an actual house or whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is that because there are like a billion servers, and because there are like freeform placement means that people are going to overlap with each other,
yeah.
And you don't want like players who haven't logged in forever to be you don't want the world to be a ghost town where nobody can put down their camps.
Right.
So if you log into a world where somebody has already taken the spot that you had previously taken, the game automatically packs up your camp and puts it back in your inventory.
Okay.
And that forces you to have to pay caps to replace your camp somewhere else.
All right.
So they're fixing that a bit and making it more consistent.
So it says your CAMP will no longer be automatically blueprinted and stored if someone is occupying your location when you log into a server. Instead, you'll receive a notification that your space is occupied. If you decide to find a new home for your camp on that server, it will be free to do so.
Yeah.
However, if you don't attempt to place down your CAMP, you will be able to switch to a new server where that spot is vacant, and your CAMP will be fully assembled and waiting for you.
That's fantastic. Although, I do need them to fix the actual, ability to place things. I built myself that house I showed you in the video we did.
Yeah.
And my camp got booted recently, and I have not been able to find another place where I can actually fit the damn house, in my camp. And part of the problem is that you're stuck in your first-person view.
Yeah.
When you're placing, your camp stuff. So, if they could give you, you can there's a limited perspective where you can fiddle around and try to make it fit, but
right.
I cannot find any level ground where my house is acceptable. It's always telling me there's no support. So I don't know if I don't know if that's a bug or if I'm picking the wrong places to put my shit down. But yeah, I do hope they fix that. That doesn't appear to be addressed.
So the final point for the December 11th, 2018 patch is titled Bulldozer.
Yeah.
This is a new CAMP feature that will allow you to remove small trees, rocks, and other obstructions, so it's easier to create and place your CAMP.
Yes, I'm hoping that... I don't know if that is... I can't tell if that's going to aid in placement or if that's just to keep shit from clipping through your house. Because my old house had ferns and stuff clipping through the floor. But I'm hoping that'll allow me to actually physically clear the area a bit, so I can hopefully put my house back down, because I miss my house.
You can also use the bulldozer to clear these items from the surrounding area to make your CAMP feel more like home.
Well, that's just fluff.
So that's the entirety of,
that's a lot of work for one patch.
Well, that's two separate patches. One's the first list is rolling out on the 4th of December,
and the other one is
the second is on the 11th. Yeah, so it's and Bethesda says, "Thank you, and please don't stop letting us know how we can improve our communication and what else needs to be addressed in the game. Once we finalize the patch notes for the December 4 update, we'll be sure to post them."
The fuck? One of my guys died, and I have no idea how that could have happened.
All patch notes and weekly updates going forward. So, anyway, they're trying. I haven't heard anything as far as the. So the people in the, I want my story to be different camp. There's no help for you. But the people in the I don't like all these.
Don't say that. And
Bethesda.
You're wrong, and here's why. But first, let's transition to the next video.
Oh, okay, sure.
So we'll see you guys next video.
Okay.